Hey, this is Usagi Wasabi. I wanted to share a video with you today on a project that I was recently hired for by Discovery Green and Weingarten. A few weeks ago I painted a mural for Earth Day, and I wanted to share with you the time-lapse process of me painting it. This was my first large mural piece that I got to do. I do have a few other public art pieces that I have around Texas, but none of them were this large a size where I actually went out and painted, so I was super excited to do this. I have wanted to get on walls for so long now. Something that I could just get out there and paint and show that I could do a large mural. So I was very happy that Discovery Green and Weingarten gave me that chance to show not only could I do it, but that I could do this for my first time and try out a bunch of techniques that I have seen other mural artists do on YouTube that I've been obsessing over for years. Like I said, I do have a few pieces around Texas. My first project I was commissioned for last year was really fun. It was a project called Window Works where I illustrated a family of tigers. It's a mother tiger with her cubs. Originally we were supposed to go out there and paint these, but things happened with that project where there were some changes, so it ended up being the project it is now. It is a digital print that is on a window display. I think I have visited that mural about 3 times now. After that I was commissioned for a utility box project where I actually went out and had to paint a box. That was very, very intimidating for me because that was officially the first time I went out and painted something outside. So I learned a lot from that project. It was a small mural, it was about my height or so, and it took me quite a few weeks because the weather was so hot. I painted that last year around June and July, and I could only paint for a few hours at a time because the box was burning hot while I was painting, and it was right at a street corner, so there was a lot of things out there I wasn't expecting, but overall it was still an incredible project. I learned a lot from that, and I left that project wanting more. I wanted to get my artwork up on a bigger spectrum. I wanted to get it up on a wall and just keep going from there. And I had a taste for using outdoor acrylics and all that, so there's a lot of information out there that is, readily available, that when I went out there I was pretty nervous, but I was also fully prepared for things that I don't think I would have been able to do without all the great advice I got from different YouTubers and just people out there willing to share. So I thought it would be cool to show what I learned, and hopefully if there's someone out there watching this and they're trying to figure out how they can get out there and do these projects, maybe seeing what I did will help. But yeah, I'd like to go ahead and start that time lapse now so you can see from beginning to end, and I'll just share with you along the way some of my thoughts, processes, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. So yeah, let's get to it.
So one of the things I really wanted to try for this mural was the Doodle grid method, which is what you see on here. You pretty much just put a wall of doodles up. It kind of replaces what a grid would be. And I really liked this method because it was less intimidating than doing a measured out grid and just trying to figure out where I had to place things. With the Doodle grid, you have a lot more individual pinpoints where you can figure out how you can transfer your drawing from something like a tablet up onto a much bigger scale. So this part surprisingly went super fast for me. I think I did this in the first day, and then the second day I came out and started blocking out colors, which is what you're seeing me do now. I really wanted to use spray paint here because I've never used spray paint on anything before other than just, home projects. And I tried doing a gradient with the spray paint, so you can see in one of the corners I had tested out the paint. It didn't work too well. I ended up just mixing colors with the acrylics I had, which took a lot longer, but at least it got the effect that I wanted. Hopefully in the future I can get more comfortable with spray paint. Doing the line work is my absolute favorite part. Even when I'm painting that on a much smaller scale, I just love using micron pens and sumi ink. That's one of my favorite mediums to use. To me, lining things just gives it a very graphical look. It it can make something really pop. So doing this part it might look super tedious, but it was my favorite. And my family is so sweet. They are with me the whole time for this mural. They're with me every time I've gone out to do any type of event. And thankfully my husband jumped in and helped fill in some of the background color to help me cut time. I was already going behind the schedule that I wanted to be on, so having him help out really helped immensely. One of the questions I get a lot is, what type of paint do you use for murals? And when I first started looking at doing public art, I had the same question, and I was really surprised to find out that most of the time it is just exterior house paints. Of course, you can use artist grade paint as well for details. You could even do a whole mural with artist grade paints. Some artists use spray paint, but most of the colors that you see here, they were just color swatches I grabbed at my local Home Depot, went up to the counter and got exterior paint from them. The reason you want to use exterior paints is your mural is going to be exposed to different elements, and you want something that has UV protection, which is what exterior paint has. If you're doing an indoor mural, of course you could use interior paints, so it just depends on where your mural is going, how large it is. But this size was about 8 feet by 10 feet, and I just bought a couple of quarts of exterior paint, and that was it. One of the reasons I was really excited about doing this mural was the theme was Earth Day, and they wanted us to focus on the National Preserve here in Texas, the Big Thicket. And going into this project, I didn't know too much about the Big Thicket, so I did my research and found out that it was a beautiful preserve that a lot of animals call home, and I wanted to focus on 3 of those animals in particular that usually are treated as pests or hunted and eliminated from nature and just kind of have a bad rep in general. So that's the coyote, bobcat, and armadillo. I wanted to show that they can be beautiful, and they're just as deserving of this earth as anything else. So I have them circling a kind of vague interpretation of the world, and surrounding them are the mountains of Big Bend National Park, which is another one of my favorite national parks right here in Texas. And then the outer edges of the mural are decorated with the starry night sky. Big Bend National Park is one of the few places in the United States that you can have a clear view of the Milky Way at night. So it's a very Texas proud mural. The more you look at it, you'll start to see the little details that show that. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to end this now with some really nice gimbal shots of the finished mural, so let's check those out. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to show your support to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. And of course, you can follow me on Instagram. That's at Usagi Wasabi. And of course, a big thank you to Discovery Green and Weingarten for putting this project together and just making sure the artists were well taken care of and had everything they needed out there. This was a very fun project, and I hope to see you next time with even bigger murals.
It's a really sad dog. there's like secret animals in this room. And it's, well, it's like I have to, boom, secret animals.